Hey, welcome to week 2 of Procrastination No More Cookbook Authors Training. I'm Christina, the Business Development Manager here at Create My Cookbook. We, of course, have Sean Chavis of Salt Shaker Media.
Hello.
And our guinea pig, Jen.
Hi.
How's it going, Jen?
Great. I'm ready to get back into it.
Yeah. Did you get your homework done?
I did. I, of course, had questions.
Oh, okay. How's Aunt, well, before we get started on that, how's Aunt Carlene?
Oh, Aunt Carlene is great. I actually thought of kind of a funny story I wanted to share with y'all about her.
Okay.
Because you kind of got to get to know Aunt Carlene to really, get into what's going on with this cookbook. So, my Aunt Carlene is a twin.
Okay.
Her twin is my dad.
Okay.
So, something kind of interesting and fun about them is her name is Carlene. My dad's name is Carl.
Oh, wow.
People find that funny. I don't know. I mean, it's like, hey, let's don't get too creative. We got twins here. We got Carl. Hang on a second.
I mean, back then, did they they have ultrasounds to know, hey, you have twins?
I know, right? Who knows?
Maybe they were
but
just
here's even more fun sort of thing is they were named after another twin brother-sister combo named Carl and Carlene. Yes, and that was Uncle Dude. Because you can't just be called Carl. You got to have like another nickname. My dad's nickname was Buddy. I mean, we got it going on with names.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So the Carls like to have a nickname. We got Dude and Buddy. Anyway, the Carlene thing is just a fun thing.
That's hilarious.
I just got to share that.
In your family.
Oh, I know. It's a miracle I didn't have twins.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I did have some questions about the proposal.
Sure.
So I, as I was working through it, everything kind of made sense, and then I got to the piece where I was trying to figure out my points of differentiation, and I don't know. I guess I wasn't really sure where to go with that, aside from just like, hey, it's my aunt. She's got this history teaching home economics. Like, she's got a very warm and inviting home. I don't know. I just wasn't quite sure what to do there.
Sure. I will give you some tips on how to approach that. So I want you to go to a bookstore. Like, do you have a Barnes & Noble or something like that? Okay. So go to the bookstore and go to the cookbook section. And I want you to look at where you imagine your book appearing.
Okay.
Okay. So you might go to the baking section, or you might go to the regional cooking section, like where they have Southern books.
Right.
Whichever one you feel like it really fits. And then I want you to look at books in that section and kind of like look at books that maybe have the same look and feel. Because remember, like we talked about all the different ways that people experience books.
Right.
So, think about, do you want this to be a book that people use every day? Or do you want this to be kind of like a coffee table book? Pull some books off the shelf that kind of look and feel the way you imagine.
Kind of a similar message, but do I want to also want to kind of stand out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you're going to do is like pull some, like maybe 4 or 5 books off the shelf and kind of like lay them out and look at, what ways are they similar and what ways are they different?
Okay.
Like every book's going to be different. Like if you went to the Southern section, there's the Lee Brothers book. There's, there's a biscuits book, probably by Natalie Dupree. There's probably a Southern Foodways Alliance like cookbook. There's probably a bunch of different Southern. There's probably like a John Besh cookbook. All of these Southern books are Southern, but they're all different.
Right.
And so I want you to figure out, where does your book fit in with all that?
Right.
And that's going to be your point of differentiation.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, she's kind of like a Southern Martha Stewart, minus the prison time.
And minus the snoop.
Minus the snoop. So I think I might draw on that too a little bit, because she is, had that home economics sort of crafting thing going on as well as the Southern piece. So, that's a great idea. I'll do that.
Yeah. So that will help you tremendously. And if you don't have time to go over to the bookstore, which I do highly recommend, but you can also kind of do it on Amazon. Like just go on Amazon, you can search books and then search cookbooks, and then type in Southern or type in baking, and just kind of get a feel for what's there and what makes your book different. And why would somebody that are standing in the bookstore pick that book over the other books?
Okay.
All right,
awesome.
Jen.
All right.
So this weekend, you
yes.
gonna get it done for us Monday? Okay.
Yeah,
If you
totally.
haven't finished yours yet, no worries. Just get it to try. You can try to get it to us this week. We'll get it back to you fully formatted, ready to go. So that's going to bring us into this week. our topic is marketing your cookbook. And you're probably like, I don't even have a cookbook yet. It's okay. Marketing your cookbook actually happens before you have a cookbook. And we have Sean here again to kind of set us up on how to get that started.
Exactly. So like in the professional publishing world, as soon as almost immediately after a publisher accepts a proposal and says, yes, we're going to do this book, they immediately start marketing the book. Like they will start marketing it before a single recipe has been tested and written or everything like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's good to start thinking about it early. And in your proposal at the end, there was kind of like a slot for kind of thinking about, who your target audience is and those kinds of things. So now we're going to talk about, let's think about a marketing plan for your book.
Okay.
Because marketing plans take time and you want to kind of get them in gear to kind of prepare set the stage for your cookbook coming out. Okay. So we're going to talk about platform today. Have you ever heard of the word platform besides like something you stand on?
No.
Okay. So let's talk about platform. It describes your audience reach. Okay. So and it kind of is not just the size of your audience, but it's also the quality of your audience. What is like the strengths of the relationships you have with that audience? Okay. So that's what platform is. It's really about how big is your audience and what is the quality of that audience?
The relationship with them. Okay.
Exactly. So let's talk about how to build your platform. Okay. So do you remember like the Wizard of Oz and toward the end and like Dorothy was like, okay, the guy in the balloon's gone and how am I gonna get home? And Glinda the Good Witch comes down and she's like, you've had it all along, right? Okay. So I want you to think about, you've had this power, you already have a power, right?
Yeah.
And I want you to start with the power that you have.
Okay.
Okay. So what power do you think you have already with this particular cookbook?
Well, I think her relationships built over time with her community, her students, in a couple of different states, in the Southeast is going to be the sort of the kindling, for the fire. That's where I'd start probably.
Yeah. I think that's a great start. So like you kind of have this kind of sleeper kind of platform, so I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, she's definitely not on social media. I mean, she has a Facebook account, but
Gotcha. No, so this is a great place to start. Everybody has something different. Like, some people are like, really rocking Instagram and they've got 30,000 followers, and that's a platform. If you own a bakery or a restaurant or a cafe, your customers are your platform. Like you're not on social media. People are coming to you every day. That's a great platform to have, or there have been some cookbook authors that had newspaper columns first, or there might be dietitians that have patients, and that's a great platform.
Yeah.
So start with what you've got. So that's your power. Aunt Carlene has had 30 years of students who remember her.
Yes.
And probably come up to her in the grocery store.
Yes.
Okay, all
yes.
that. Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a couple of different strategies you can use to build your platform.
Okay.
I don't want you to feel like you have to do everything. Really just pick like one thing that really feels like it resonates with your audience. Okay, so one thing that you could do is you could start like a Facebook group on your topic. Maybe you could start a Facebook group for Carlene's home ec class. Yeah. Totally. Almost kind of like a class reunion kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And be active with it. Like, maybe, you guys could do Facebook Lives. Or, could have some kind of conversation going or something like that.
I know a lot of her students would probably just love to see her, what she looks like these days. Or, maybe see a teacher from, years past and like go into her kitchen and maybe do a couple of recipes with her. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So another thing is, you could, some people like start a newspaper column or a magazine column, or they find like a really good web, news, online magazine or something, and they do a column and start publishing articles. Another one is you could build a relationship with an influential company. So, some people will like, I know one woman who was teaching butcher classes, and she built a relationship with a national knife company.
Wow.
And then she went from there to build her platform and started and did a cookbook on, home butchering.
Yeah.
So you could, and then, you have that relationship with that influential company. They've got a huge platform and you're just kind of borrowing their platform and you're giving them some personality.
Right. So like I said it like in our first week, like this is primarily all baked goods, like and everything from pies to breads to muffins. And so what you're saying is I could approach like a cornmeal company or a flour company or something like that to say and say, hey, I've got all these great recipes. You want to partner up or something like
Exactly.
that? Okay.
Exactly. And some people start they start Instagramming, for that company, or doing things like that, and they build a relationship from there.
Yeah. So you aren't just saying blindly like, hey, sponsor my book. It's like, no, you're actually using their products to build or do the recipes.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like my friend, she actually started using the knife company's knives in her butchering classes,
Yes.
and then
Okay.
then they started doing some ads with her, and then it kind of grew into this.
Awesome.
So absolutely. Then another strategy is you could start a podcast. Those are really taking off now. You could do a YouTube channel and have cooking.
Cooking with Carlene.
Yeah, totally. Or you could do a newsletter, an email newsletter, and then grow the audience. So there are a couple of different things that you could do. A couple of other things you could do. You could teach classes. I mean, how cool would it to be to have Aunt Carlene's
class.
coming. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't have home ec now.
They don't. Home ec, sadly, is just, it's true.
Yeah, so there are a lot of young adults who you kind of need those skills. So how cool would it be to have a home ec teacher? And then another way that people build their platform is to do a lot of media appearances. You'll see a lot of chefs do this where they may even hire a PR, a media relations company who's really great at getting them a lot of media appearances, and they'll get in the magazines and, cooking shows, and you can start with your local TV shows. It would be great if Carlene could maybe there's a TV station that has Saturday morning cooking spots, or maybe they want a cooking spot on their noon show, and just get in there and start building it up.
And so that's, even if you don't have a PR person, you can still do some of that outreach and just say, here's my skill, I'd love to teach people or whatever.
And approach it from them hey, do you guys use a little more variety, or do you need see what they need and how you can fill that need, and then build a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are some cool ways to build your platform.
Yeah. So you're not going to get away without more homework.
I know.
You've only got 8 weeks. You're going to become a published author. You've got some homework.
Yeah.
So this week you've got to make some decisions. What is your platform, and you've got to start building that platform. And then one other thing that we need to start doing is we need to start getting your recipes into the designer itself, so that we can start getting this cookbook together.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to break now. We're going to give you a short demo on how to use the designer to enter your recipes yourself, or you can use our service that we have that's called We Type It, and we'll give you a quick demo on both. So,
okay, super. And We Type It is basically
you snap a picture of your recipe and we type it for you. It's like magic.
That's awesome.
Okay, so basically when I get ready, I'm going to be working on my marketing this weekend. Yeah. And then
while
I'm doing that, I can just send you pictures of these, and y'all will type all this up for me. Okay.
Much.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
It's
Because
awesome.
I was like, okay, I'm doing all this marketing stuff, but I have to deal with this at some
point.
point.
Don't worry. Actually, you don't. We have to deal with it. We just take pictures.
Okay, so y'all are going to show how to use this next.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Great.
All right, so now we got that one typed in manually. Now we're going to use We Type It. And this is my favorite way. It's really fast. It's really easy. The best way, in my opinion, to use it is with a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can absolutely scan in your recipes and upload them as images. But to me, just using a smartphone is so easy. So we log into your Create My Cookbook account through your browser. Go to My Cookbooks. We're going to select Cooking with Carlene. And we're going to go up to your recipe box here, Add Recipes, and we're going to select the We Type It. Then here, I'm going to grab a recipe card. Let's see what we have here. We have...
You want to do the cornbread salad?
Yeah, let's do the cornbread salad. That sounds great. Okay, so we're going to do the cornbread salad. We're going to upload the image. We're just going to take the photo. And it's good if you can kind of get some similar light. Doesn't have to be perfect. Snap the photo. We're going to say use this photo.
So they can translate even
Even
Like
cursive.
cursive
anything. Oh
and-
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And is there a back on that? There might be a
Yeah,
back.
so we're going to need to add the back. We're just going to flip it over and see here we're going to add a back. And so what we'll do is we're going to upload the back, take the picture again, and snap the photo. We're going to use this photo.
And so we all get 2 free We Type It
Yes.
credits. Does this count as 2 credits inside a front and a back?
No, each one recipe
Mm-hmm.
equals a credit.
Okay.
So if
Got
it
it.
has a front and a back, it's still just 1 credit.
Okay.
So here we're just going to, we have the front, we have the back. We're going to add the recipe name. So go corn, bread, salad. And then we're going to add the category. The
Salads.
salads. There we go. And we're just going to hit submit for typing. And we'll say yes, type a recipe. Okay. So if you submit it during business hours, Monday through Friday, we'll probably get it back to you within a few hours.
Mhm.
If it's in the evening or the weekend, we try to get it back to you within a day. And so
Super.
you'll get an email and say, hey, we typed it for you, and you'll find your recipe in your recipe box.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
That sounds way easier than typing it
Oh,
myself.
yeah. It is way easier and way faster. It's just snapping pictures and
Yeah.
working through it. Once you're done with that, your recipes are ready to go.
Ready to go. Cool.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks for showing me.
Absolutely. So this week, you're going to start building your platform,
Yep, building my platform.
and you're going to get your recipes in with We Type It.
Would we type it?
Okay.
Definitely, because I don't have time to type all this.
Perfect. And then we'll see you next week for
Okay.
week 3.
Sounds great.
Thanks.